Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that, well, many find difficult, but it's just so crucial to discuss. Racism, especially how it operates in our hyper-connected world. We're going to be drawing insights mainly from Luis Valerio P. Trindade's article, If Online Amplifies Racism, and connecting it with some other key ideas.
Yeah, it's a really insightful piece.
Our mission, really, is to unpack how the online world doesn't just mirror, but actually dramatically magnifies the biases that already exist offline, and what that truly means for all of us, navigating these digital spaces daily.
It's a critical conversation to have.
Definitely. And let's start by acknowledging up front that racism isn't some historical artifact or something limited to specific areas. It happens every day. Global.
Absolutely. It's happening right now from Italy, as the article mentions, but really everywhere.
Yeah, Indonesia, Brazil.
Exactly. Professor Alistair Bonnet, he's a social geographer, talks about this in his book, Multi-Racism. He really stresses that it's a global problem. It's being debated and fought over from Morocco to China, Brazil to Indonesia, like you said.
Right.
And what's really key, I think, from Bonnet is his point that racism doesn't have just one single origin. It's got this varied history, multiple roots, different paths.
So it's not monolithic.
Not at all. And that complexity, that historical variation, becomes super relevant when we look at how it plays out online today.
Okay, that makes sense. So if it's not this single, simple thing, how do these really complex historical biases, how do they interact with social media platforms? Our sources call these platforms a powerful discourse transformation machine.
Yeah.
That sounds intense. What does that actually mean?
It is intense, isn't it? It's a striking metaphor. Basically, think of it like this. People feed their existing racist ideas, their discriminatory views, against anyone they see as different or maybe deviant into this machine.
Okay.
The input. Right. And the machine, the platform, uses its structure, its algorithms, its reach to spit out amplified hate speech. It takes that raw ideology and gives it this huge platform, this wide reach. And importantly, this isn't just online chatter. It can actually influence intolerant behavior offline in the quote-unquote real world.
This is not just reflecting, it's actively transforming and boosting it.
Precisely. It supercharges the output. The bias might already be there, but the machine gives it power.
And this connects directly, doesn't it, to what Professors Beth Kolko, Lisa Nakamura, and Gilbert Rodman talk about in Race in Cyberspace, that link between online and offline.
Exactly. They make a couple of really crucial points. First, they say, look, online and offline, they're not separate worlds. They're deeply intertwined.
It's not like logging off makes the ideas disappear.
Not at all. Your online self is an extension of your offline self. And second, stemming from that, the beliefs and values, the ideologies you hold offline, you reproduce them online. So if someone holds racist views offline, they don't just check them at the digital door. They bring them right in. And here's where that megaphone idea comes in strong. Digital tech gives people this massive platform, and it seems to make them feel, well, entitled. Entitled to be more aggressive, maybe more courageous online than they'd ever be face-to-face.
That lack of immediate consequence, perhaps.
Perhaps. Or the perceived anonymity, the distance. But fundamentally, the root is still those distorted, often outdated ideas people hold. Those ideas fuel the negative stereotypes about ethnic minorities.
That idea of the internet as this emboldening megaphone is really powerful. Okay, so we taught theory of the machine, the megaphone. How does this actually look in practice? Can you give us some concrete examples for the sources to bring this home for you, the listener?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at a few. Back in 2017, there was this post by an Italian journalist, Luca Bottura. It was pretty controversial. He posted a picture of Samuel L. Jackson and Magic Johnson, the actor and the basketball player, but depicted them as if they were migrants, doing nothing, just wasting social benefits.
Wow.
Now, he claimed it was irony, satire. But, this source asks a really pointed question. Why are Black people so often the target of this kind of discourse, this assumption that they're needy, unemployed? And maybe more to the point, why would you, the listener, find that specific image funny or ironic? What's the underlying assumption there?
That's uncomfortable to think about. What else?
Okay, jump forward to 2020 Twitter. There's a post showing an Italian singer, Emma Marone, with Kanye West, and a user comments basically speculating that because Kanye West is Black, he must be poor and hungry, unable to afford food himself.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Kanye West?
Yeah. The implied message was like, oh, look, Emma's buying dinner for this poor Black guy. Now, okay, maybe you don't recognize Kanye West. Fine. But the source pushes back. Why leap to the conclusion that he's poor and hungry specifically because he's black? That's the racist logic at play.
And that bias is just,
Right?
yeah, really blatant there.
It is. And one more. This one's quite telling. 2019. A big German-American youth fashion retailer, popular in Italy. They ran an ad campaign using black male and female models. Pretty standard stuff, you'd think.
You would hope so.
But the comments on their social media, staggering. Things like, goodbye, lost a customer, never give money to those who prefer black men. Or sell them in Africa.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or let's do this. When I turn black, I'll buy it. Until then, blocked. And even, wasn't there an Italian woman for the ad? If you want to sell in Italy, use Italian women.
Just well. So the models weren't even seen as potentially Italian.
Exactly. And that's the core message our sources pull out from comments like these. It's this denial. A denial that black people have legitimacy, first, to represent any consumer product at all, and second, even more pointedly, to represent Italy.
Which Italy, though? That's the question the source asks, right?
Precisely. And the implied answer is pretty clear. White Italy, of course. It shows how these old colonial ways of thinking are still lodged in many minds. And social media just gives them this free rein to emerge. It's not isolated incidents. It's an echo of deeper ideologies.
That's a really critical point. And the implication is, well, it's huge. When you see these kinds of representations over and over again in media, especially social media, people can start to accept them. Like they're just an accurate reflection of reality. It normalizes these really harmful views.
It absolutely does. It creates this dangerous feedback loop, which, brings us right back to that megaphone metaphor.
Yeah.
There was an interview with Dr. Ondian Gonzo on Italian TV, Law 7. He was asked, do you think Italy is a racist country? And his answer was so insightful. He said something like, I don't think Italy is a racist country. What I believe is that racist people find a megaphone to spread their voices.
Ah, so the megaphone isn't the country itself, but the tool used by individuals within it.
Exactly that. Social media plays precisely that role. It's this incredibly powerful megaphone for discriminatory ideas that already exist. It gives them a reach, an impact they just wouldn't have had otherwise.
Okay, so pulling this all together for you listening,
Yeah.
the key takeaway here isn't that the internet creates racism out of thin air. Rather, it provides this unprecedented platform, this amplification system for prejudices that are often already deeply rooted in society. It just spreads them much further, much faster. It's a crucial distinction.
It really is. And it just highlights that connection, that unbreakable link between our offline beliefs and how we express ourselves online. This whole discussion really underlines the significant responsibility that comes with having access to this digital megaphone. Everyone has one now, essentially.
A powerful tool indeed.
Undeniably, its impact is massive.
So here's something to think about after we finish. How might this same megaphone effect work with other deeply held societal beliefs? Beliefs beyond racism, maybe things that are problematic in different ways when they get amplified online. And what responsibility do you as a user have? What about the platforms themselves? How do we understand and maybe even mitigate this powerful amplification? That's definitely something for you to mull over.